Thank you for meeting us here for our final game of the day. It's Counter Logic Gaming versus 100 Thieves, and we're going to go right into the starting lineups. On the blue side is the new look 100 Thieves. They've brought in a lot of their academy players. So in the top lane is FakeGod. In the jungle is Fragas, Soligo, you remember him, in mid. Bang still in the bot lane, but alongside support Stunt with Coach Probably and Kelsey moving up to the big stage here.
And selecting red side for this matchup is Counter Logic Gaming. In the top lane, Darshan. In the jungle, Wiggily. Mid, PowerOfEvil. Bottom, Stixxay. Support, Biofrost. And coaches Weldon and Irene on stage.
So after missing playoffs the entire last year, for the first time in the team's history, CLG again now have control of their destiny. Here in week 9, they can win out and make it back to the top 6.
Yeah, they can. They can also lose it. So they have to take care of business, starting with today. No messing around with wonky team comps. They have to draft what they think is optimal for their victories. This weekend is incredibly important, especially because they are facing off most of the 100 Thieves Academy roster.
Yep.
This is a roster that I have to say is probably the biggest change for me is the mindset coming in, because the 100 Thieves LCS roster just feels like the morale really dropped off because of the disappointing season that they've had. But the Academy roster, you know when you sub these guys in, they're going to be hyped up to play on the LCS stage.
Yep. And of course, they're going to hope to do what they can. The Academy roster did make Academy playoffs. They sadly did lose earlier this week, 3-2 to the Echo Fox Academy squad, but players still hungry, and I do want to see what they have in store for us. Keep in mind that Soligo is already putting in a lot of starting work on the main roster of 100 Thieves, so it's kind of only like 3 players switched around, but they're also more comfortable with Soligo, who did play in that Academy playoff match.
And of course, a lot of people are going to point to why did they bring FakeGod in over Someday. FakeGod in the Academy was getting a lot of hype, but mainly it's going to be for their communication and their synergy with the rest of the Academy players. Now, let's get right into it. A lot of these early game focus picks being banned out from 100 Thieves. Jungle focus as well on Wiggily.
All right, waiting to see. Of course, there's plenty of scouting reports available. These guys did play their whole season in the Academy Spotlight, so you've got actually even more games on them than on an LCS team who played the 18-game season plus a best-of-5 afterwards. So the scouting reports are, of course, there. There's the Jace taken away. FakeGod can't play this one, but Akali brought that one out in the finals or the playoffs, and he's going to bring it out here again.
Yeah, no hesitation, locked in here. And technically, they can still flex pick it, but again, I would expect it to be in the hands of FakeGod. So let's see what CLG and Darshan are thinking in answer.
Well, we know that as far as what I've seen, that late-game team fighting has been good for them. Generally, you expect that Academy teams aren't quite so good, or Academy players aren't quite as good at sort of the late-game shot calling closing out, so I think it's very safe to play for late game, but no, Kalista, an early aggressive one, the highest presence bot lane of this patch, going to be picked up here for Stixxay.
Yeah, CLG have had a decent amount of long games so far in Spring, so it's definitely reasonable to assume that, but if they do lock in the Kalista, that gives you a lot of bottom lane control. It also gives you possibility of trying to snowball early dragons, and I do like the champion in the meta right now because of those factors. As well, they can create so many plays. Combo with something like Braum here, you get a lot of different offensive and defensive options.
All right, waiting to see the next picks for 100 Thieves here. I do like Fragas because he brings out a bunch of unconventional stuff. He's got 4 Nunu games. He's got an Ivern in there as well. Right now, we're going to wait for his pick, though, is Xayah and Rakan, a pretty expected bot lane duo to come through here. It's going to be the pick yet again.
Yeah, Bang's cosplay of Xayah at All-Stars, definitely impressive, as well as his play, so happy to see on it. Once again, combined with Rakan, definitely going to have that explosive factor. You can actually do decently well into Kalista lanes early.
And it's going to be Bang's first Xayah game and Stunt's first Rakan game of the split, so putting in at very least practice. We know 100 Thieves cannot make playoffs. The squad is doomed to miss the postseason here as they're playing for practice and shaping up and seeing which players to bring next split. Of course, there need to be changes. 4 and 12 is not okay for an LCS team, so figuring out which players can do what to do well.
And if you're looking at testing synergy, a Xayah Rakan combo for the bottom lane here, subbing Stunt in, who all of the Academy players, by the way, have been very, very positive about, as Stunt is one of the more senior guys, you know, on that lineup, and he's done a lot as far as coaching the strategy for the team and keeping the morale up. Happy to see him back on the LCS stage.
76% kill participation, highest on the team across the Academy split, so it certainly has been a good contributor. And we'll see if he can do that up against Stixxay and Biofrost. After we will not get to play against his old team here, as he's been subbed out, of course, for Stunt. But the bans are coming through. No Aurelia, no Gangplank recently buffed. Skarner taken off the table as well, as we've got a flex pick Akali, but both bot lanes otherwise shown with a Syndra mid for PoE.
All right, no Skarner either. I'm very excited to see what we go for in the jungle with Fragas in. As you mentioned, he actually hit rank 1 in the North American solo queue ladder, and a lot of the games were Ivern. So I've been holding out. I asked him specifically for it. He gave me the old winky face, but as LCS players go, that is pretty much a non-commitment.
Yeah, always knew Fragas was the diva. Oh well, he's gonna try, and we've got, of course, the war recover for Stixxay. He does this every game, and we'll see what he actually wants to play pretty soon, but they do need a top laner and a jungler. Warwick would fit the bill, but Sejuani give me the pick here.
Yeah, what they're doing is they want to make sure that it is going to be the Akali 100% in the top lane before Darshan commits to his pick. So they're going to go jungler first here. Again, another non-committal. Just going to be the Sejuani, an aftershock tank for you. Has the possibility for initiation for Wiggily. They already have a Kalista with the Braum attached to it, so CLG are looking like, again, very standard Team 5 possibilities here. Their 5-on-5 looks very strong.
2 tanks. They're going to be ice cold in that front line, and they've got plenty of
Brilliant
damage
synergy.
Exactly. Whereas Ash, you need it. Sadly, Kalista would have been picked up. But Jarvan locked in. That's going to go most likely to Fragas here, though we have seen some top Jarvan, and indeed it has been played before. But the last pick needed now. Where's it going to go? And Galio going to be going into the mid lane for Soligo. And they have a lot of hyper aggression to make a lot of space for this Akali to pop off.
Yeah, another AP Galio getting picked up here, solo lane. And I do like the combination. Jarvan and Galio, one of the classics. Bread and butter, you jump in, get a Cataclysm down, keep people around for the Galio ultimate to arrive.
All right.
Plus, Galio really enables the Akali in split push game. And Darshan has opted for the Poppy. Very good use of the Steadfast Presence is possible here. So many champions. Specifically against the 1v1 with Akali, it could stop a decent amount of burst damage as well if you pop it at the right time here. You want to get one of the high value dashes. You don't want to get one of the
ease backwards into it, then stun
exactly. You don't don't want to waste it. So the timing on popping your Steadfast Presence is fairly important. It's not an all-around dash blocker. You just get your one.
One per champion. So it's good against Rakan. It'll stop the Jarvan EQ, maybe some of Akali, but you won't get the Jarvan ult, you won't get the Galio ult. Those might still be important. Those will still lock in your backliners. And we're going to see what comes through into this one. Galio mid, Akali top here. The first games of LCS proper here for FakeGod, Fragas, and Prismal as they try to make their way up the standings with the new 100 Thieves look. Final comments from the coaches, and off they go. CLG, as we mentioned, their playoff destiny is within their hands. They're expected to win this one. And they have a very important match against Echo Fox tomorrow. They can do these things. They can get playoffs. They've missed it all last year. They can do it here, though.
You're making a lot of CLG fans nervous, Freak, with talking about expectations here.
Yeah.
Because the name comes from Counter Logic, and a lot of the times that has been true to the organization. We'll see here, though. Definitely favored versus this 100 Thieves roster that's swapped up.
Well, Bang said he was going to keep working through the rest of the split. Even if they're going to miss playoffs, he still wants to put his very best foot forward and find a couple of wins here. So 100 Thieves and Counter Logic Gaming are hitting the rift, and CLG must find some wins. They want to make that push towards playoffs. 100 Thieves hoping to improve until the summer split. Let's get on to the rift. Now, as the players are getting ready to go, we do have a sideline report with Ovely and Kelsey. Oh, sorry. Soon we will. That's a spoiler. I misheard. That is my fault. Don't blame the producers. Don't blame Kelsey. Don't blame Ovely.
Meanwhile, we've got the face-off in mid lane. PowerOfEvil staring down Soligo. Wiggily gets hit with the flag, loses his passive.
And the bone plating.
Oh my goodness.
All right, now we're ready. Take it away, Ovely.
Freak always trolling. I'm here with Kelsey Moser, the head coach for the Academy team for 100 Thieves. We're seeing 4/5 of the team in. What can we expect from these players today?
We've had a really interesting up and down season with everything going on with the main team and everything, but these guys, I think, have shown a lot of development and a lot of promise. I'm really excited to see FakeGod on LCS. I think a lot of people are, ever since Scouting Grounds. This is a really exciting moment for them. Just they'll feel comfortable together, and that's really what we're looking for. We got them a really synergistic comp, so that's what we're going for.
Well, I'm also really excited to see how they do. Kelsey, thank you, and best of luck to you and the team. Back to you guys.
That is kind of a classic to me. You're this hyped up solo lane player. You get on the LCS stage, yo, pick me Akali.
Sometimes it works really, really well.
It could definitely be a highlight champion. We'll see if he can get a lead for himself. Is going with that Conqueror.
Yeah. Speaking of highlights, if you want to hear more about cool stuff, earlier this week I joined Kobe and Xayah on the dive. We ran through the most recent patch 9.6 and chatted over what we think and who we think will make playoffs as that push continues. New episodes come out every Wednesday, so tune in.
Yeah, and especially if you caught the last couple episodes, we're going back to our older format that we had when Jat was on the show. You see here as the bottom lane, though, does not quite get that last auto attack to proc the stun here on Stunt and get some meaningful damage. Stixxay, by the way, again, one of my favorites is running the Hail of Blades on these lane dominant champions. With Kalista, it makes your chase down potential really strong because you can hop very quickly, get off your autos with your Hail of Blades, and really exercise control early on.
Yeah. Right now in this bottom lane, it's interesting because though CLG got level 6 first, the wave pushed all the way in, and so they couldn't really hit enemies under the turret. This should actually go back to close to equilibrium, actually, and I want to see how the 2-on-2 plays out from here. But with that 1 minion stuck, it actually, if they last hit very, very slowly, it'll push towards CLG's turret and make 100 Thieves overextend to get farm, but looks like they're kind of wave coming back and forth, and that won't be happening here.
Yep. The level 2 power spike going without blood on either side. Another Targon's charge here. He wants to use it on the cannon. See if Stunt's moving up here in the brush. Decides to take an opportunity. Not going to go.
Bang could go for a root, but not just yet. There we go. Dodge the way. Biofrost managed to play that mind game well enough.
Yeah, I like these little trades and mechanics here for the bottom lane plays. Trying to threaten when you do have a lot of this potential. Again, this is early game though, and as you can see on the map, the junglers have been denying a lot of information. Fragas has just slipped up here into the Krugs, done some counter jungling for himself before even going to his blue quadrant. So this is going to mean that Wiggily has a lot fewer options. And oftentimes when you're in this situation as Fragas, you set yourself up to get a small lead in the jungle by having extra camps to clear, but you need to keep your lanes notified because this is going to push Wiggily into a situation where he has no camps to go for, and he's forced to go for a possible lane play. The only way he gets back in and catches up is if your laners allow him to get that lane play off, go for a gank or, moving out for the vision.
Well, Fragas is going to have to make up some of the missed farm, but again, there is a reset and the path back through the rest of his jungle to make that happen. So they both grabbed their red smite, they both grabbed the control ward. So far, life seems fine for both these players, but as you mentioned, there's not a lot left for Wiggily to farm here.
And I would say that the bottom lane is decently volatile, so both of them will probably have their eyes on bottom side vision control. And Fragas is set up to do a kind of a reverse clear back to the bottom side. If you start at Gromp, Wolves, then Raptors would be the case. Wiggly's going to try and cut him off at the pass here, though. Goes for the counter invade. He will be able to find himself the Raptor camp to even it back up. So he's not going to be behind at all.
Yeah.
And is actually going to pull ahead here of Fragas because of the extra time that Fragas walks across the map. Wiggily going mid as well.
Okay, this could be an attempt to find a knock-up here with Soligo, but after it's going to pop, and now he's going to get jumped on. Plenty of CC going to be found here as both W halves land. The first one, the second one comes in, the flash to come in. It's going to be Fragas finding a knock-up, but there's no damage to follow up, and it's going to be the disengage here, but Summoner's down for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, Fragas there, quick on the trigger finger with the flash. They weren't really in a situation where you're going to get a counter kill. And at best, I think he's trying to dissuade CLG from going any further on Soligo.
Yeah.
But that is, you might want that flash back afterwards.
It is a tough call. I'm not sure if he needed that one. Meanwhile, on the bot side, decent damage coming through. The shield was up for Biofrost. Yeah, unsure if Fragas' knockup kept Soligo alive or if he's going to get away anyway.
And I think at the very least, you spend the little extra time of walking that distance. Stunt actually does go for the knock-up as it was a good interrupt from Biofrost. This does delay them.
But he can stop it again. Doesn't go to it. Didn't have mana to Q and then W back out, so I think it's worthy to let them recall, but it is going to be that back now for Bang and Stunt.
And again, Ignites are in play on the bottom side, so a lot of attention will be paid here early on. You can get all-ins from either side, so junglers are going to be the biggest resource that they fight over. Fragas, once again, he actually passed over that ward through the Raptors. Wiggily should know it's a possibility he's here.
And they see each other. Fragas actually up in XP right now. That slow means nothing, of course, with the shield on, so nothing really gained there.
One of my favorite parts of Sejuani, you can also pop the honey fruit, walk over him with ease.
And you get full speed.
Best jungler for picking those up. You can't get hit with the slows while you have your frost armor on. PowerOfEvil is level 6 here, so Syndra level 6, definitely something junglers can also play about. This bottom triangle of the map, very important, and that's why we can see after the first recall on your mini-map right now, Braum, Biofrost is moving in, trying to clear out the transition pathway here from mid and bottom, as both of them are very good opportunities for CLG to capitalize.
Yeah, CLG have great vision control on the bottom side of the river, so no ganks can be found on Fragas, and it lets PoE keep pushing, and you're going to see little by little, farm denied, plus 21 CS in the mid lane, and that's after Soligo burned teleport to get back to lane, so actually abusive here in this mid lane. He's actually been crushing this one-on-one so far with a bit of help from the teammates on either side. 300 gold lead for CLG, pushing forward, nice Q's going to land. Good damage in towards Venus, cutting back, but will not be stunned. Instead, it's Fragas who started Mountain Drake, and looks like he's going to stay for this one as long as bot lane can push. Sejuani is topside.
And one of the things I noticed with Fragas quite often in the Academy games recently, he got a lot of the objectives, whether it was from smite stealing or trying to go for solos here without vision from the enemy team. He is going to be able to get this first Mountain Drake for the team. And it does give you a decent amount of experience in addition to the extra 100 gold now that it offers. So very worthwhile pickup, even though Mountain Drake isn't going to be used on Baron early on. It can be used to get more turret plates if you have a couple of seconds that mean a difference maybe.
Sure.
You know, recall timings can be a big thing if you get chased off. Could mean a decent little bit.
Yeah, the true damage from Mountain Drake does come in before resist, so as the plates stack up the armor and MR, you still got that same true damage per hit. Can matter for the last few. Quite a bit there. As the control ward's killed off, and FakeGod feels pretty comfortable. Look at the top lane, it's 13 CS lead here for the 100 Thieves top laner. Again, his first LCS game. He's up against, I think, the player with the literal most LCS games in Darshan, if not top two.
Last time I checked, it definitely was.
Game number 1 versus number 1 in games played, I think is always interesting to look at. But as Coach Kelsey mentioned, these are champions and compositions the players are comfortable with, and so far, so good for the 100 Thieves partially Academy roster.
Gets to play the Akali into a tank matchup here. Poppy just going for the early cowl to survive some more of the harassment. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we finally have a possibility here with junglers slipping in. Fragas will see this ward though, and that's going to give away the game.
But he gets a zombie ward, and that's going to feel nice. His next spell will deal damage to champions, but he's not going to do that, so it won't matter.
Meanwhile, he might actually also get this control ward and pop another zombie by his Krugs. Gonna be signaled out there. Wiggily as well as going around towards mid. This level 6 Syndra bullying the Galio is something. Darshan.
Okay, first ult used. E comes across. Now can he dodge the big hammer? Gonna try to run around. Ooh, pushed back in anyway. He tried to ult back forward, it looks like, and well, down that one goes. But it's gonna be wave clear for FakeGod. Darshan, can he actually risk the dive? Doesn't look like he's going to.
It looked like a possibility just trying to threaten him off some minions here. Maybe you force him back so he loses a bit more gold. Does have Sejuani around. So if they're sure that Fragas has not been able to get back out yet, then they possibly could go for it. But Akali Shroud will be back up now, so it takes a long time to pull that dive off. Wiggly's now seen Fragas.
Over the wall, not gonna get caught, but now the ult's gonna come in, so he's gonna burn Flash, get away as Galio is going to arrive alongside the Jarvan, but no one's underneath it anymore. Back to the lane he goes, dropping some farm.
Yeah, CLG very happy about getting that cooldown out. The first Galio ultimate right from the mid lane here for Soligo. Not only does it not find that play, but it also lost a couple of melee minions there because PoE just hard pushing.
We'll get some of the rest of it here, but electrocute triggers and Soligo's out of mana. He's very low on health as well. Look at this mid lane. 34 CS lead at 10 minutes and 24 seconds. PoE is absolutely slaughtering him in this matchup. You see the gold difference, 800. CLG are crushing this one. 1,200 gold lead for the team just from laning. The jungler's fairly close together. It's the mid that's a huge difference. The bot lane, plus about 200 as well.
And there's another turret plate primed for the taking right now on this mid turret. Whenever it gets that low, all you have to do is push one more minion wave, step right up, and you get to cash in. Wiggly's coming for this possible dive.
Has Aftershock, he can tank it first. Ult's gonna land for the stun. They're gonna get a lot of AoE damage. He's locked in place, but they can't fight FakeGod yet because the rest of the team is here. They find the double knockup. Galio gonna find a gigantic taunt. They're gonna go in. They will find the first blood, and it goes to the mid laner. He needed that gold, and he found some of it here as FakeGod clears away the wave top.
Yeah, they failed to take into account the teleport. Yes, Galio just used the global ultimate there, but Soligo's got another card up his sleeve. Teleport comes in. That pulls them off the dive and allows 100 Thieves to take the first kill. Now Fragas coming in, maybe for a second.
And not going to go for it there. Drops a couple of caster minions for the CS and almost gets the attempt at a kill on Darshan, but not finding it here. Control ward goes down, and back they go. 300 gold now separating teams pretty close. Look at the bot side though, a stun's gonna land. Ult in as well, a lot of damage for Rakan, jumps back, he's burning, but he's gonna live through the summoner heal, stays alive on this one.
Oh, this should definitely be some money for the CLG duo here. They're forcing Stunt back to base. Turret's very low.
Stunt gets aftershock, but just hit by PoE on the way back, and looks like CLG's mid really can't screw up this matchup. He's doing so well so far. 125 CS. Now the re-engage in towards Stixxay. Another charm on towards Biofrost. Well puts up the shield. Bang finds a little bit of damage, but it's all being stuffed out. Ults across, and nice pullback. There's no way to kill him. They're instead going to go for the engage. They found Biofrost with a pullback. Here comes Darshan as well. A knockup. The paddle comes in. They can't quite find that kill just yet, but now it's 100 Thieves running away, running as fast as they can. And it's going to be Fragas under the turret staying alive. 1 for 0. Going to 100 Thieves in that dive.
Yeah, as you say it, no way to kill him. Goes back in, and that's the way to kill him. Now Fragas is under the turret. They're trying to defend against Darshan. Should be able to do it as CLG have to pull off. The teleport came through. That means that Akali's going to have alone time on the turret on the top side farming, but PoE wants.
Good stopwatch. Yeah, because Aftershock is going to fall off, so Q's going to land. Doesn't have the spells to follow up for anymore, but Soligo pushed out of mid yet again.
Yeah, Soligo, been on the edge this entire time. CLG will take their consolation prize of the Mountain Drake here and should be able to even up 1 for 1 unless Fragas takes the blast cone in. He can EQ back out afterwards. Now he can't because the E's down.
Yeah, E's to spawn says, all right, Mountain Drake is yours. Trades 1 for 1, not the end of the world.
But we should also check in on the Akali gold. FakeGod got a bunch of extra turrets while that bottom lane play went off. Let's see how it all started off. Stunt goes in, gets the lockup onto Stixxay, goes down with the ignite. Bang walking up even with 4 stacks to the Braum ultimate, never got it proc, so he never got stunned. As soon as Wiggily got here though, CLG make the call to go back in, and Bao is so low that he just immediately gets bursted by Bang on the pullback. Darshan coming through with the teleport was the whole plan for CLG, but it just wasn't enough burst damage to take down Bang, and 100 Thieves all escape with this turret.
So the game is tied in gold, but look at the top minutes here, 4,900 to 4,100. This is what's keeping the game close, is how far ahead FakeGod is in the laning phase here, withstanding the dives and even getting one of them turned around. And a champion to be ahead, Akali, that's a good one for it.
Yeah, once again, it was a CLG play that they call on the bottom side. They're unable to convert much on the bottom side, and it comes at a cost. Your top laner teleporting away like that is going to mean that his 1v1 will suffer, so you need to make it count. In the end, they did get a Mountain Drake, but losing a member, not how they wanted it to go.
Darshan reconvenes top side after a couple of plates were killed from his earlier TP. That's what part of that golden lead was from, but won't get any more as the 14-minute mark has already passed.
Big discrepancy here, though, for the mid lane. We keep revisiting it. PoE has just been abusing this mid lane, continually pushing in. 50 CS lead for himself at 14.5 minutes into the game. And that Syndra must be respected. Level 11 now for PowerOfEvil. So if he wants to go for an invade, 100 Thieves have to respect it. They gotta get out of there.
They've corralled him. Fragas could be stunned, and he goes back in to try to buy a bit of time. It's not gonna matter. His best option was trying to dodge the stun. He's still gonna drop the 3v1.
Yeah, you see a Syndra level 11 with Sork Boots and Ludens walking around at 14 minutes. You better get out of there. He's just a kill waiting to happen. Finally does find it. And as you said, double buffs now on the Syndra.
Oh,
the
yeah.
pushing's gonna continue.
This is going to be pretty rough. So the turret will drop FakeGod. Oh, he could have autoed it once or twice more, but now he's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to get stunned against the wall. Darshan's got damage. The knockup is in as well. Now FakeGod has got to get over the wall. He's got the ult for it, and he's going to burn one part. Waits for the recharge, has it now, goes for the blast cone, mid-interrupt by the Q, over the wall he goes, the flash not gonna be enough, and Wiggily will finish what was started earlier by Darshan.
In the end, the turret does go down to the minions, but that is gonna be some happy news there for CLG, because their mid lane advantage is very big, but that was going to be a problem, that Akali in the side lane. They've put a stop to it for a while, as he remains in the death chamber.
All right, well, down that one goes. This game now 500 gold in the lead for CLG. As the top and mid are the big factors here. You've got a pretty good bounty over on Stixxay as well from all the farm.
Yeah, plus a nice item completion. Blade of the Ruined King is done for him on the Kalista. Should be able to roam up and support this Syndra. Basically, your Kalista Braum, huge playmaking power for any number of team fights you can pull off with. And if you have the power of this fed Syndra for the mid lane, then anybody who gets locked up by any form of crowd control is going down.
Well, we can keep seeing this one push forward. Counterlogic Gaming in control of their playoff destiny. They are currently half a game behind Echo Fox, who took an upset win earlier, and half a game ahead of Optic. But Echo Fox is a team they must catch. There's only one spot left. Currently, Fox holds it, so CLG needs to keep pace and then beat them tomorrow. And they can remain within control.
And so far, the carry's definitely looking good. Stixxay, even though they lost the bottom lane due to the 100 Thieves focus, the Kalista, large CS lead for himself, and is looking to get item number 2 going. As soon as he cleans up this mid wave for PoE as well, CLG should be able to get a reset.
Down go a couple more minions as we still have a bit of a slow mid game here. Only 4 kills on the docket. And we're waiting and waiting. Xayah still scaling. Bang, of course, an incredible late game team fighter, but has fallen down in lane because, well, it's against Kalista. It's kind of expected here. And now into the mid lane, clearing, and very hard to gank with a very short lane behind him and teammates nearby. Sadly misses the Kenton. Unlucky there, the earlier crit.
We should also mention that, you know, while I'm a huge fan of the... Oh, never mind.
They dodge to the side, but it's going to be... Oh, no, it's Bang caught up by the stuns. He's low, but he's going to stay alive in this one. In the back line is Stixxay forcing out, but staying alive as well. A big stun comes in, looking now at Soligo, but not going to pull the ult onto him either. No kills.
Yeah, no kills. A lot of ultimates used from most of these players on the 100 Thieves side. FakeGod now on the run.
Got some decent damage, gets the energy back, and now in the back half, though, keep in mind, he's got sustain. He's got that Hex. Yeah, the Gunblade does really good things, and now poor Darshan is low. No ult left for FakeGod. He used both charges, and Darshan blocked the back half of it.
Yep, Darshan able to taxi away on the minion as well. As you said, the sustain on Akali is back to full health, and 100 Thieves are going to use that to start up this Ocean Drake.
Well, that Herald's definitely dead. He's going to stay in local gold range. Otherwise, he'll miss 250. No! He walked too far back. He missed the gold.
Well, that's a little bit unlucky for him. Just a bit out of range, and CLG still opened up the map with that turret kill, I guess. Even though the biggest part is going to be for outer turrets, gold that you're going to get. He's got a decent amount for himself already, though.
Yeah.
Stopwatch is available for the next team fight. Now QSS also picked up for Stixxay. So CLG do have quite a few team fight changing item actives that will be ready.
Okay. Immuning the ult is going to be a big deal. Landing one's going to be important as well. And waiting for this convergence to happen, because Poppy can stuff so many of 100 Thieves engage tools. If Darshan's allowed to group with the squad, I think it's FakeGod's job to make that not happen, or to get there first and pick someone off before Darshan can stop him. Still 1,500 puts CLG ahead, so they are leading this charge. They've got the Quicksilver Sash in for Stixxay. He can immune some of this. He can get away from Soligo's taunt, from Stunt's charm. And CLG push in mid and now look to go top side. A tackle, not quite the stun though for Darshan. So pushing Soligo away. We know Baron's up at 20 seconds and CLG starting to have deep wards come in.
And both teams do have a Mountain Drake. With just Blade of the Ruin King, Kalista definitely has a decent amount of threat. They've got multiple people who can tank the Baron, so even early on, it is a possibility, and that's why so many of these wards are being invested around the Baron. It's actually insane if you look at this vision that they've just dropped in the area leading up to Baron. Completely dark, as you can see from 100 Thieves' point of view, and CLG trying to set up the 4-1 with Darshan holding bottom side.
Blue buff taken away. Darshan feeling comfortable enough to clear these minions this far back. He has very few wards keeping him safe, but even less for FakeGod to push in case he might be ganked later on by the rest of CLG. Soligo forced the last hit under turret, doing best he can. Again, a fight over here, but so much spell vamp on the Akali. Makes him feel fairly comfortable. Decent damage again on Darshan. Just pop steadfast presence, but no dive yet.
Guessing game there with the dash going for the interruption. Thanks.
Low.
With a Q.
Thank you. Anytime. Gets the shield, no big problems. Oh, that's a good stun, though. They could find Fragas' stuns all around. Stixxay finds that kill completely, just destroying that Jarvan.
Yeah, this Syndra just walking around and is able to walk into a Jarvan once again. Boom! Another kill. Can't even get the stopwatch off there, so CLG with an advantage in the area. They've already set up full of vision. 100 Thieves, not many options. They're getting scared.
Oh, they almost get that one to stop, but not just yet. Could still be stunned. He's going to jump back, but that's still damage.
Oof.
And PoE finds his second kill of the game. Bang can't re-engage. Wiggily back out as well. And they pulled the TP out of FakeGod, so even less side lane pressure now for 100 Thieves.
I gotta say, PowerOfEvil is making this look easy, just kind of floating around through the jungle. Lackadaisically just sifts on over, gets another kill without even using the ultimate this time around. And this is going to be very difficult for 100 Thieves to deal with. Syndra is already, just because of the knockback that you can pull off and the stun into Rakan, a very big Rakan counter. If she has that much ability power behind it, if you're that fed, not only are you stuffing the engage, but you probably just kill the Rakan outright if you land your abilities.
And that appears to be happening right now. So difficulties ahead for 100 Thieves. Their main roster, of course, 4-12. You can see that record on the top left. Their Academy squad made playoffs, but lost in the first round. But subbing in 4 of those members, hoping to find something that looks positive by the end of the split. But it looks like pedigree for CLG is simply better. Their winning matchups through mid and bot are getting things done. 100 Thieves with FakeGod. He's split pushing, but nothing's happening with the result of it. And that lead's kind of going to waste here. CLG get farther ahead. Their lead 3,000 now, twice what it was just 2 minutes ago.
If you're counting some blessings for 100 Thieves, it's that after they just lost a bunch of kills, they were able to clear out all those wards that CLG had placed around the Baron. So at the very least, it will make CLG take longer when setting up for another Baron threat. And that's kind of what they're doing right now. They're trying to establish their own vision control. It is at the cost of Darshan knocking down the last hour turret for CLG.
Yeah, we had FakeGod roam back up to mid. It was 5 versus 4 over there, and Counterlogic Gaming able to just simply back off and give Darshan a turret down there, getting the gold a bit closer in that matchup. And now the Akali will once again mark, but it might not be enough. Look for the dive now in this big fight. Pops the Zonia's not going to find one, will not get PoE. The taunt might just land. They find a single shutdown. How about the re-engage, though? Poppy's in the mix, looking for the damage, and they're going to find Stunt to be killed off. 1 for 1 in the fight. But a shutdown on the Syndra might be enough for it to matter for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, they killed the most powerful member of CLG.
Oh, the flash, that is huge. They might get Fragas. He's not yet dead, though. In comes Braum for the big ulti, but still the backline stays alive. Darshan tries to find it, can't get it there. Bang gets one. Bang looks for a second. Can he get the damage across? Darshan is forced out. 2 for 1 now long term. 100 Thieves get more gold.
Yep, CLG still fighting. They've got spears in Bang, but it's a big root.
Big taunt as well, but no follow through. Out they go. Still. Solid start. 100 Thieves getting a little bit closer back in this one. 2.5k separates, and now a Drake on the map with no jungler alive for CLG.
CLG calling for the re-engage there. Lose out the extra member and give over the Ocean Drake to 100 Thieves. They still have life.
And a lot more of it with this extra regen coming in. So the holding pattern is a bit nicer. Second Ocean, I think, really tips the scales in a long-term 1-3-1. You can take some damage and just wait 5 seconds. Your opponent doesn't have the same sort of recourse.
Here is our classic combo we set up in Champion Select. Jarvan goes in, Cataclysm, able to use the stopwatch. And you get a perfect circle there on top of the Cataclysm as Galio comes in. They get the giant knockback, and Bang had a good pull back on the route through PowerOfEvil to finish off the Syndra. Some extra kills going over to the Xayah is the correct place here for 100 Thieves as he's got crit multipliers in place, plus has been able to fund the QSS for himself.
All right, so 3 targets for Stixxay, but a shield for Bang will make him a bit more tanky against PowerOfEvil, who is scaling up pretty well.
Close.
Oh, they're going to look for Stixxay. They flash to find the charm. Good QSS, and a flash gets him out. They'll trade of summoners, the QSS for the ult.
Yeah, definitely very, very close to turning the tide here as 100 Thieves go for a no. Yeah, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the Syndra counter into Rakan. If you step up and use your ultimate after that, Rakan's actually dead. Here they are on the chase.
Wiggily finds the ult, finds a stun. FakeGod, though, is tanky enough and stays alive through that one. Ult's down.
Yep, able to get the shroud off, and no more burst damage can come through. CLG still with the health advantage after that fight, though. And a health advantage gives you time on the map. Time on the map's going to give you vision set up around Baron, and they're going to start it up to try and force 100 Thieves to come to them.
They're going to try to rush this one down. Control it, get rid of all the vision. So it is Fog of War right now on the 100 Thieves side, but they've got to try to do something about this one. Soligo's nearby, is going to spot. They are indeed doing it. Fragas does have the flash and smites up in about a second, and it will be in time for the Baron to spawn. Ult's coming across. Can Poppy zone them out? Yes, indeed. There's no chance at a smite. It's going to be picked up now. And this poor Fragas, or Galio alone in the front line, not going to get anything done. A kill plus the Baron picked up, and CLG easily walk away.
CLG very happy with that one. Darshan gets the double knockback with the Poppy ultimate, meaning that Soligo's there by himself on the Galio. They turn on him, get the extra kill. Baron buff will be a very quick push for them. Can 100 Thieves get a tower first? They want to try and quickly take down this outer for a little bit of gold and then get back to defense.
It's going to be solid. A little bit more picked up here. 100 Thieves keep the game within only 3,000 gold. And, oh, they're going to look for a brush gang. If someone mispositions, they can get a free kill, but
Nobody's
CLG,
got a reason to go through their red side jungle, though.
it would have been greed for Sejuani to try to kick Raptors, but
Yeah.
not happening here. Out they go. It was a nice attempt. They don't lose too much. Mid lane 2-2 probably dies no matter what. They'll be late to that party. CLG wondering whether or not he already, but they're going to get the autos in.
Yeah, checking on the side here, making sure they don't get flanked. I think CLG, you know, with Darshan in the front line, Wiggily here also guarding, they shouldn't lose either of their carries, you know, with this combo. Rakan, yes, the engage can be very quick, but you just run quicker into the Poppy then, or you run quicker into the Syndra stun then, and it's going to be very difficult to survive that. Jarvan has the same problems.
Yep.
And second time around, Jarvan will not have a stopwatch. So whoever goes in, it might be a one-way ticket to try and deliver the Galio ultimate.
Okay, well, you've got the Braum frontline shield, of course, is pretty valuable, and not a ton of AP yet on Soligo, so that dunk might not mean too much. Waiting to see. No flash on Stixxay, that could matter. Wiggily and Darshan missing theirs as well, but the siege continues.
Something I'd like to see from Biofrost too, once they get down to just the cannon minions, you can put up the Unbreakable to protect those Baron and Powered cannon minions. Just buy more time for those things.
Oh, no, happen. Knock up finally. Poppy over the back line for PoE. Not going to get that one, though. And Fragas, days are numbered. In comes Galio, but the first kill comes through for CLG already. And they're going to keep continuing a two-man stun. And they're going to find kill number 2. Now on number 3, FakeGod running away. Slowed on the Akali. Auto's coming in. Stun's going to land. Will they go for the rend? Oh, 12 health left, but he's not going to die. Still 5 alive for CLG. A new wave. They're going to take the inhibitor.
Yep, that inhibitor tower is down, the inhibitor itself is down, and it might even be the Nexus turret. CLG, 5 members strong with Baron Bump pushing on those Nexus turrets.
CLG hunting for that 7th win to tie 6th place with Echo Fox in a match against them to decide their fate later on. That's going to be the push on forward. Fake got a half, the same for Stunt. 5v3 continues, a dust for Darshan, but the stopwatch only buys 2 seconds. They might get that kill. One Nexus turret still alive. They're going to find the root, the pullback, the knockup. A single kill maybe for 100 Thieves, but still can't yet find it. FakeGod waiting the wings. Looking for an assassination on Akali. They still can't get that kill. CLG just simply running away.
All right, let's see how long they chase for. FakeGod wants some money. Not going to be able to find it. And 100 Thieves at least will survive. They defend their base. They've got 1 inhibitor down, but 1 inhibitor is defensible. If they can hold this for long enough to get a respawn, then they might have some hopes. But CLG with just a commanding lead in this game. Watch the engage here. They have such a difficult time getting back to the carries. You see both PoE and Stixxay on the outside of the Galio ultimate. Stunt does finally get in there for 1 charm, but he's only able to get 1 of the carries. Stixxay and PowerOfEvil just turn the damage right back around, melting almost everyone there. FakeGod barely survives.
And of course, you saw the rest of that fight as they picked up those couple of kills and knocked out the inhibitor as well. Stixxay going to grab an easy pickup on this Drake alongside Biofrost. I do want to commend Fragas and Stunt for how they played that fight around the Poppy. I think Stunt actually managed to get his E block, so he could W forward and find the back line. But of course, as we were seeing, the damage just simply wasn't there, despite pretty solid mechanics. And Counterlogic Gaming have control of this map still. They know Baron will spawn eventually, and they can play for that when it comes back up.
Yeah, the Rakan Galio and Jarvan Galio combos rely so much on speed that even if the Poppy isn't able to completely negate your engage, the delay that you have to do to try and get around this steadfast presence and the Sejuani and Braum knockups that are both coming through as well just means that it will take too long. And in that time, PowerOfEvil and Stixxay will have killed at least 1 member.
As it happened. So now round 2 of the siege, this time without Baron buff, but with the 6,000 gold lead cashed in into items. Baron's in 1.5. That's going to be easily during the time of the bottom inhibitor being dead. Top lane 2-2 will be given away. 500 more gold comes over to the squad. CLG stretched that lead, and we want to see how aggressive they need to be. Will it be inhibitor siege, or will it simply be Baron in 80 seconds? And it's probably the latter.
Yeah, I definitely expect the group here as far as mid lane goes. Looks like we might even have a reset. A lot of pings going down.
Yeah, 1 minute for the objective. You reset, make sure you got your wards, and play for that river one last time. It's all there is to play for. CLG can kind of force 100 Thieves, it feels like, to fight for Baron in the river with a 6,000 deficit.
CLG definitely have that playoff spot in their eyes right now. Converting on this win, so huge for them. It's been a tumultuous split. They want to end it out on a smooth note.
Of note for anyone watching at home, Optic are eliminated completely if CLG indeed win this one. They can't keep up because one, if Echo Fox or CLG will improve to a 2-0 weekend, then Optic, of course, can't do that with their earlier loss. CLG versus Echo Fox is simply just the straight up fight for 6. That's it on Sunday, if CLG complete this one.
All right, step number 1 will be push out the mid wave. Can you get your mid priority? Retreat back to Baron. You have full vision control. You have every card in your hand. 100 Thieves now with the rookies on stage. Will they be able to pull off the miracle play?
It's going to be hard. They're certainly behind. CLG are already positioned in the river. Baron is now alive, and 100 Thieves must find their way onto maybe the flashless PoE. No Zhonya's either, so he is an okay target. The question is, do they have the damage? He's gigantic, of course. Void Staff to make him melt the front line.
Well, they are pushing the mid wave back, at least for that.
But look at bot lane. Look at that minion wave. It's going to win the game by itself. They're going to checkmate 100 Thieves. 2 supers. That's definitely a dead turret, and it's probably a dead Nexus.
They're running out of time here. 100 Thieves got to make a move, and Fragas is moving up.
Okay, they've already sent the Akali back. He's got teleport to rejoin the fight, but what's the timing going to be like as CLG start up the Baron? They look to force 100 Thieves in and start the 4v5. The Nexus turret will live.
I think 100 Thieves' best chance is actually to let them start it, go for a 50-50, even with Kalista.
EQ burn. Fragas can come forward. Here comes the TP, and they're going for the fight right now. This is the make or break moment with the Champion's already dead, and the Baron's picked up as well. 5v4, they cannot find the back line. 100 Thieves cannot get the kills. FakeGod finally finds one. It's a 4-on-4. Can Akali carry it? Stixxay has GA. The front line's pretty tanky. FakeGod has no ult. He's going to look for it. He's going to try. He's going to try to get the GA, but Stixxay's over the wall. He cannot go down. Galio tries and pops that Guardian Angel, but FakeGod is dead, and the minions are still pushing as well. Darshan jumps in. They know buying time will win the game as Darshan finds a triple, and the last bit is done by Stixxay. TP seals the deal. Optic are eliminated from playoffs, and CLG have one last match to win. They've got to wait for the inhibitor though, but you know for sure this one is over, Kobe.
Yep, Darshan's able to teleport in. He's going to get started on that inhibitor. Working his hammer as best he can. Working overtime here. Fragas is back up, though.
Stixxay's here as well. It's a 3v1 and 20 seconds on most of the respawns. It took a little bit longer than it needed to be, but there's that quick kill. There's the turret in their sights. Counter logic getting improved to 7, and tomorrow we decide if CLG or Echo Fox will be the last team in playoffs.
Quite the exciting day tomorrow. CLG versus Echo Fox for a playoff spot, and Team Liquid versus TSM for the mental advantage going into playoffs here. Which of these top teams is going to take it down?
Well, either way, it's going to be exciting tomorrow. Darshan rejoin the huddle. Spencer Long split pushing. He forgot he's got to join the 5-on-5 sometimes as well.
He's going to go check his damage there in the Poppy game. Got a lot of kills.
Yeah, it's got to be fairly high, actually.
Decent amount of trading with Poppy in lane, too.
As I looked that one up, CLG, well, they've got one more opponent in front of them. They know a single game decides.
It's the one that matters.
That spot. And Echo Fox have looked so sharp as well. They took down the top 2 teams in back-to-back games this and previous weeks. One more game for 100 Thieves to try to turn stuff up. They looked close enough, but quarterfinal opponents, CLG certainly better here today. And I think overall the better team. 100 Thieves are quickly coming to the close of their spring split, and we'll see what they are going to look like in summer, with one final match against Optic, who sadly for them are also eliminated. Neither team will be in playoff contention, and we'll see what that game looks like tomorrow. CLG, though, look like hope, I guess.
Yeah, they won their game. This was the first step towards the payoff tomorrow. You know, we're going to have that hype matchup. Rush is back in the lineup for Echo Fox. They're looking much better together, much more well coordinated. Meanwhile, CLG in this time around, huge domination, you know, through that mid game as they're able to push it through very effectively. You finished your lookup of
24% damage share for Darshan. Pretty high for playing a tank. He got to scrap quite a while and went deathless in that one, 3-0-9. Felt solid. They found him on a tank and he did good work in the team fights. Now for more on that win, let's send it down for an interview.
Thanks, Freak. Wiggily, congratulations on the win. Now, coming into this game, a lot of people thought with the roster substitutions that this was just going to be a free win for you guys. But what were your expectations going against this roster of 100 Thieves?
Well, I mean, they've played pretty well in Academy, actually, even though they're all like rookies. So they really had nothing to lose going into the game. And whenever that's the case, I think usually you just like play all out and you just engage, go in. So we were kind of ready for that, but at the same time, we made a lot of mistakes. So it wasn't the best feeling to get the win, but it was still nice because we need every win we can get to make playoffs. So, yeah.
And the last win that you need to pick up is tomorrow. You and Echo Fox are both tied up with wins, and it all comes down to tomorrow's match against them for the 6th spot in playoffs. So what are your thoughts going into that?
We just gotta win. I don't know. Like, it just feels like this whole season's been pretty up and down, so it'd be really good to end the season just on a high note. So, yeah.
Well, Wiggily, thank you, and I am wishing you the best of luck with that final game. And that is it for us here. For more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Avali. They got it done. That is the key for CLG. They still have control of their own destiny, as she just mentioned, looking at tomorrow's game against Echo Fox, the other team in the running for the 6th and final spot in playoffs.
Sorry. Yeah, okay. The cards are out. Regardless of how this win looked, you now have the opportunity to go against the guy who you're fighting against. So
Yep.
CLG can maybe look at what Echo Fox is doing or try to change things up. So it's good that your destiny is in your hands all the time.
I like that's in their hands, and they actually have to beat their opponent for their playoff
It
spot.
feels good that the winner will be determined by that.
Yeah, I love that that's like kind of how it's decided. And, you know, I mean, CLG, though, has some work to do.
Yeah, I want to hop on to what Wiggily said there in the interview, in that they also recognized bringing in a lot of these young guys up from Academy for 100 Thieves, that he kind of expected them to have that all-out engaged play style, and so that they wanted to play into that and maybe look to punish that. As you mentioned, it was by no means a clean victory with mistakes for CLG as well, but it did at least illustrate to me a similar amount of prep and thinking that you guys had shared at the top of the day with, like, this is the audition for a lot of 100 Thieves players, so they're going to go out there and just throw everything on the table.
They did think about it, but they also didn't become the aggressors themselves. So CLG was more of, okay, we'll see what 100 Thieves Academy is trying to do here, and then we'll be really aggressive. There's a lot of opportunity for CLG to be the one that's going off, that's going for an early Baron, that's going for early fights, and they never really did that. So I think that that's what they were really thinking about earlier on, but I really would have liked to see them just say, you guys are an Academy team, we're the LCS team, we can
We'll
be
show
aggressive.
you how to play.
Exactly.
I mean, and they drafted to do it. I mean, you have a Kalista, you have a Syndra. It's pretty early game focused. The Sejuani can go in and start things off. And eventually they picked the enemy jungler at like 21 minutes in the game. And with a Kalista and a Mountain Drake, they don't go Baron. It's like, what are you doing? Just go Baron and force it. And if they contest, you can turn. But, like, those are the kinds of things other playoff teams are doing. Golden Guardians did it earlier in the day when they just chunked out Meteos. They didn't even kill him. And then same thing as well with Echo Fox. They had some pretty clean Barons. So CLG does need to level up a little bit.
And that can be a danger, right? When you are right on the precipice of making it into the playoffs or falling out of it. Whereas, again, on the flip side, 100 Thieves is playing with nothing to lose, in a sense. And so while other teams have maybe stepped up to that challenge, like Echo Fox, and saying, hey, the way that we get there is to make it happen for ourselves, CLG felt a little reserved today. I don't think they'll be afforded that opportunity tomorrow against Rush and the rest of the team.
No, they won't. And they need like a thirst for blood just to know. It's kind of like fighting, right? You have a boxing match. You're not just going for, I'm going to go for like all the parts that don't hurt all the time. You go for what hurts the most every single time. So going for those early Barons, you think so greedy, like, what's the biggest play we can get and how can we execute it? And just always thinking that way and then refining, okay, maybe we bid off of more than we can chew. So CLG just needs to go back to that thought process of being really aggressive and just taking everything for themselves.
Yeah, now that said, their average win time coming into today was 39.5 minutes, give or take a few seconds. They did close this one out just over 33. So from that standpoint, you know, a slight improvement in that, hey, we got that one team fight. We were able to push down and inhib. Now we win the team fight by the Baron, and we can close it out.
And to be fair, they did try and end the game on that first inhibitor push. They were borderline diving the fountain. It just, they weren't able to actually close it out there, and that's what forced that kind of continued sequence.
Well, for CLG, they're still very much alive in the race for playoffs, and as we turn back to the standings, we see that Cloud9 have locked in second place and that bye to the semifinals. TSM are locked for third, and Golden Guardians scoop up the fifth playoff spot, which leaves the final spot to either CLG or Echo Fox. Let's go ahead and see how those predictions played out for the day. We've got the Golden Guardians correct prediction in game one. Everybody getting that Team Liquid call incorrect, but it's hard to blame you.
Keep on stock.
That is true. That is true.
I am not
had a very
happy.
rough day from outside the studio, so you're at least still making up ground there. within the predictions race itself. As a matter of fact, you took a lead, actually.
Yeah, I took a lead. StatSpot's 1 game ahead of me. High's behind me. I'm looking for my next opponent.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think, well, actually, we'll take a look at tomorrow's schedule, and then I'll ask you if you think you can actually make up that ground. Our final day of games has a host of potential playoff previews and playoff-impacting matches. First up, it's FlyQuest versus Golden Guardians. Game 2 has CLG and Echo Fox battling it out for that last spot in the postseason, with the long-awaited rematch between TSM and Team Liquid in Game 4. God, I'm excited for that one.
Oh, yeah.
And at most, we can only have one tiebreaker tomorrow, which will be played following Game 5. However, if we end up with no tiebreakers, the LCS cooldown will go live as it normally does with Freak and Kobe, joined by Jensen and Xsmithy. Will be great to hear from our first place team looking ahead of the postseason, especially since we got to hear from the Cloud9 guys. Again, remember, they have a whole, extra week to kind of prep for the semifinals and assess the other teams that have to slog through the quarters for an opportunity to challenge them. But now, taking a look at tomorrow's schedule, Mark, where do you think you might have some room to pick up predictions?
I think the Golden Guardians game against FlyQuest, as well as the Team Liquid game versus TSM.
Those are ones that could potentially...
All right, so who are you going with?
Well, he shouldn't give them away, because
taking notes.
High's probably at home right now.
Like I said, I'm going up against StatSpot. I know what StatSpot's going to do because it just uses the ELO system to pick the higher team.
Right.
So if I want to catch it, I have to go against it.
But you also said you weren't going to int this year like you did last year.
You're right.
So you have to be. I mean, unless you want to renege on your word. But I think you want to be true to that.
It didn't look very fun today. Only getting 3 right. So maybe I'll just stick with getting as many as I can. Based on what I think will happen.
Right. Okay. Play cool. Crumbs. Looking at tomorrow's matchups. Obviously, TLTSM is big ticket. And then, of course, we have CLG versus Echo Fox, to really flesh it out. Is there any team, though, that's within the playoff picture that you want to see something specific from tomorrow?
I want to see Cloud9 experiment more with what they did today, especially with that Morgana mid lane. I really think that pick can be pivotal moving forward, and maybe, CLG takes that pick as an advantage against Echo Fox. Like, just copy somebody else's draft. There's no shame in that, right? You copy the homework. There's no teacher here.
There's no shame in that? Is that what you're saying right now?
No.
Copy
your draft.
Alberto.
Draft, not homework. Copy draft.
Students at home. He didn't say copy homework. He was saying
ignore everything that he just said. There's no shame in that, my friend.
Copying a draft, there's no shame. We do it versus the Korean teams all the time.
Yeah, but the analogy was a little off base.
Okay, you can copy someone's draft if you can play the champions right away, and that can get you a few wins.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's...
Stay in school, guys.
I think that's the last thing we need to say on air today. So for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of the LCS and the end of the regular split. Good night. Whew.
We got some games to play today, and we're going to be jumping into game 1. We have Optic going against Golden Guardians. Crowd's now about to go down. He gets the chrono shift back onto himself. Meteo's taking damage from Contract to the left side. You got a resurrection onto Dokla. He'll be back into the fight, but Contract says, you are in here with me. And they've locked themselves a playoff spot.
Nowhere for Vayne to go. Assassination is trying. Hooney's ignited. He will not yet drop. The shields come in. They're still trying. He's still surviving. Are you serious? Turning up.
Yeah, I have no energy.
Yeah. Let's go. Vayne, no flash.
And they are running for the hills, trying to get away. A stun by the second with a taunt will turn it around anyway. It's an absolute slaughter.
Second guess everything Stixxay says. Okay, yeah, only listen to Bjergsen today. We're gonna have a Braum, man. Win this. Yeah, I'm gonna die here, but you guys still win. Two fight. Rex on the flash. Look, Xayah. Oh, that's a double kill. Nice. Woo!
Nice. Cloud9, in a sub-25-minute win, will lock themselves the second bye in the LCS. Stixxay's over the wall. He cannot go down. Galio tries and pops that Guardian Angel, but FakeGod is dead, and the minions are still pushing as well. Darshan jumps in. They know buying time will win the game, as Darshan finds a triple.
Solo coming up big with his TP in. 3 members quite low on that side of Team Liquid, and they have to be careful of how fast Solo can come out of this brush. Flashes forward, double lift dancers as well, and they are going to get the kill onto Impact.
Echo Fox is running the map. If you turn the nameplates off, you'd think the teams were swapped.
Go. Watch out for Cassio. Only Cassio. Only Cassio. Yeah. Let's go. I'm so useful. Pentakill.
And would you believe it? After the 2-0 weekend, Echo Fox looking strong. I don't know what else to say, but woo! See you a little further down the trail.